Couples Lounge Radio Show, live on Fishbowl Radio Network.
It's live, it's real, it's entertaining.
That morning show that tells you what somebody should have told you about love, marriage, and relationship. Ain't nobody doing it like us.
Because they ain't us.
Follow us on Facebook on the Couples Lounge page. Tune in every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Fishbowl Radio Network in the Great Bowl. The Couples Lounge Radio Show, giving you something to look forward to.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Candace, and I'm with my sexy husband, Ramon. We are the marriage duo that represents the Couples Lounge Radio Show. We do this every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the Great Bowl. And we have a special guest in the building today, certified life. Not life. I said life. I'm so used to saying life. Certified sex coach, Miss Candy J. Welcome.
How y'all doing?
We good. We good. Yes. My husband is going to love this show. I'm telling y'all that off the top. We're glad to have you in the building. Good morning. Okay, now the names are popping up. So, yeah, while Babe is going to finish sharing out the video, and all of y'all that are tuned in, go ahead and share it as well. But there is a need for today's show, and why that need is, let me run down a couple of stats for y'all. Roughly 20% of married couples fall into a sexless marriage.
And
You got the mic?
Oh.
What the
and a sexless marriage, that was between 10 times or less a year.
So people having sex 10 times or less.
Less in a year.
Golly, baby, you got it good. You got it good, boy.
I do. You do too, though.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
We both do.
There are 48% of women faking orgasms, and then 96% of women say being emotionally connected results in better sex. So all of those are reasons for today's show. And so Babe is finished, but let me go ahead and finish out our announcements, y'all. As relationship coaches, you all can book us for your next event as hosts or speakers, and we also do premarital and marriage coaching. So just inbox us and book us for details. And ladies, everything is about to come in place for the YLG, and I'll tell y'all what that stands for later. Dance-topia, where we're going to get together and learn us a dance for our boo things and to please me, baby. Hey. So, yeah. So, y'all get ready for that. So, let's get into it. Welcome, Miss Candy J.
Well, thank you for coming.
Welcome. Can y'all let us know if y'all can hear us? Because just let us know. Y'all know I don't have my speakers on my ears, so y'all make sure that y'all can hear us. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how or why did you want to become a sex coach?
Okay, so I get asked this question a lot. So
Okay.
I'll go ahead and dive on in.
Okay.
So, picture a 7-year-old little girl
Mhm.
and discovering that there is a happy button.
Okay.
And that happy button was, ooh, okay, I like this. So I began to ride my Cabbage Patch doll,
Okay.
and my grandmother called me.
Okay.
And she was like, what
are
you
you
doing?
doing?
What are
Right.
you doing?
Mhm.
Stop that. Don't do
Right.
that anymore.
Right.
Well, did that make me stop?
Probably not.
No.
Right.
Mhm.
No. That just made me get manipulative in how I made sure that I didn't get caught anymore.
Right.
So when I started to talk to my mom about having sex or sexual feelings or anything like that, she looked at me like I was crazy.
Okay.
And like aliens had just landed on.
I'm gonna adjust your mic real quick.
Mhm.
Can you put your I'm gonna scoot it up just a little bit. Y'all excuse me. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
She looked at me crazy like aliens had landed on the earth, and I was one of them, right?
Okay.
So, I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So in that, I didn't talk to my parents about anything. And so I got to the point where I was the one everybody was going to about sex because I was doing research. And, you know, it was kind of hard back then.
Okay.
You had encyclopedias and dictionaries.
Yeah, you didn't jump right on.
But as I got older, I started to have real talks in my house.
Okay.
And what
Okay.
real talks consisted of was men and women getting talking about real issues with sex and relationships.
Right.
Okay.
And it became my passion.
Okay.
So some years later, I became a bedroom candy consultant.
Okay.
And through Bedroom Candy, I became a certified sex coach through the Dr. Rachel Institute.
Okay.
Nice.
And so I've been rocking and rolling ever since.
Yes. And she already has some future clientele already. So we are excited to have you on today. And so I started out. There is perceived sexual compatibility is defined as the extent to which a couple perceives they share sexual belief, preferences, desires, and needs with their partner. So can a couple create sexual compatibility? Now, this is something that we talked about, and he has one thought on it. I have a different thought on it. What's
your thought, baby?
So,
We'll let her go
I
first,
don't. I don't believe in sexual compatibility off the top.
Okay.
I believe that as you communicate with someone, as your relationship builds with someone, as long as you stay open,
Okay.
to whatever that partner needs. Now you can give your hard limits, like like some people are never going to get into BDSM. Right? That's a hard stop for them.
Right.
But other people are like, okay, yeah, that's on my list. We can explore. I never done it, but we can explore it. So my feelings are yes and no.
Okay.
So I'm predisposed to certain things, and if you're not going to are not willing to get to that level with me, then we're not compatible. It's not going to happen.
And that's what I said. I think you can teach or show somebody how to be sexually compatible with you based on what you like, what you don't like. So that was my point. And he was like, basically, no, it's pretty much.
Now that I think about it, you can grow into it.
Exactly.
I believe you can grow into it. You may not start off extremely or very sexual compatible, but as time goes on, you can get the other person there.
Right, because it starts with chemistry first.
Right. Right.
And if you don't even have that chemistry, what are we doing together?
Right.
Right.
I mean, some people it's an instant spark, and other people it takes a little bit more time to be like, oh, you sexy, huh? Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Do some things.
With
too.
you.
Right.
But sometimes that takes a little while, so I encourage everybody to make sure that you have that chemistry, you know, and give it a chance.
Right.
Okay.
First, you know?
Right.
Is it a such thing as let me use the correct terms, like bad penis, or is that a really term, or is that per person? Like you might say, nah, he got bad and you can't mess with him. Don't mess with him, or once you get it, don't go back. Is that a such thing, or is that pretty much a preference?
Preference.
Okay.
Because, for instance, you know, I had a friend that said, "Oh, her husband sucked at everything," and I was like, "So, have you asked any questions to help teach him what you like?" And she's like, "No." It's like, so how is he going to know what you like if you have not explored that and told him, you know, hey, baby, this is this and that.
Right.
So, no, I don't think there's anything such as a bad penis. I think there are lazy people that don't want to satisfy the other person, or are not. They're selfish, and so okay, I got off. Then okay, what you need for it?
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to ask that question.
Okay. What can you do? What happens if our sex drive is completely different? Mine is here, yours is here. What can we do to fix that?
Okay, so my first question would be, did it start that way, or did something happen to
No,
create
we got
that?
married probably.
Shut up. I don't like him. Y'all don't listen to that.
I'm just saying.
The libido of the sex drive was regular while we were dating.
Nah, man.
That's
when
why
we
you ain't
was going
supposed to have
together,
sex
she
till you
was-
get married.
Man,
So the same things that you do before you get married
go.
is the same thing.
Are you
need to
listening,
do
ladies?
after you get married.
Are
That
y'all
goes for men,
listening?
too. That goes to men too, because you was whining and dining me and showing me how you could massage me all over and
now the massages are 1 minute.
Now those massages don't exist anymore.
Okay.
And now I'm not turned on. You got to warm the oven before you put things in it to bake it, right? So
yeah.
That's true.
Okay, so I want you to speak to a couple that has experienced an affair because, say for instance, they're sitting in your office. This woman has experienced they have experienced an affair as a couple, because I do believe that affects your sex drive or your desire to want it. What do you tell her or that couple as to how to get the sex drive back up? What do you do?
So first of all, I gotta correct you because both men and women experience this.
He said that on the way here.
Thank you. Wow.
He did say
I
that
just
on
felt
the way
the
here.
vote of lightning. Oh, wow. Oh.
Shut up, Ramon.
I did.
Stop acting like that.
Wow.
I
bless this
told
woman.
him, I just don't think
And she's
men.
certified.
I just don't think men's last as long as women.
Lies.
Really?
Lies. I'll speak to somebody that hasn't experienced it and someone actually that has experienced it.
Okay,
So-
talk to him.
So, first of all,
Wife or
I was
husband?
married for 14 and a half years.
Okay.
Together almost 16 years, right?
Okay.
So, we've been divorced for 2 years. But one of the things that we experienced was infidelity on both sides.
Okay.
So, for the first side, he cheated, and I'm the type that ever would have cheated on you until you cheated on me.
Right.
Okay.
So I didn't want to have sex with him,
Right.
and it was mental, because
Yeah.
I could get aroused by somebody else talking to me,
Right.
and showing interest in me.
Right.
But when it came to him, I was like, I don't want to do this,
Right.
but I'm
Right.
going to do it anyway.
Right.
That's just me. I'm a different type of woman, so let's put me in a box.
Okay.
But for the average woman, it's down. It's not going to happen anymore, right?
Right.
So, first of all, you have to heal from this, right?
Okay.
So, what does that healing consist of?
Right.
So, if you have to go to a counselor, then you need to go to a counselor.
Right.
If you need to sit down and have some sessions with other couples that have been through it and can talk your way through it, absolutely.
Right.
But as far as mentally goes, those are the things that you're going to have to do in order for that to heal, because he's not going to get back up. She's not going to get moisturized.
Right.
Because of this mental block that they have, right? So once you get past that part, then now it's going to, okay, what extra things may I have to bring into the bedroom now to get that person going again?
Okay.
And that could be a toy, that could be some lubricant, that could be some clitoral stimulation gel, that could be something to go for him. I mean, it just depends, because there's so many factors that go into infidelity and getting back sexual stimulation.
I gotta let me ask this question. When it comes to women faking orgasm, because I have to ask this question, and I'm dead serious. Why? What the hell reason would you fake it for? Like, I'm being like, what is the purpose of faking the orgasm? First, before we ask the real questions about it, I want to know that as a man. For what? Seriously, why?
So, you guys are relationship coaches.
Yes.
What's one of the number one things that you talk about?
To my sex?
No. In a relationship, what do you talk about?
Communication.
Communication. So here we go.
Okay.
Here's the reason why a lot of women fake orgasms. Why? Because that communication has a breakdown. Number one, there's an ego problem. So and it could be an ego where he hasn't said anything, but you don't want to bruise the ego, or it could be like, yeah, I'm the man and I got this, and you don't want to kill the vibe, saying, hey, it's not doing it.
Right.
And I don't condone that behavior at all.
Right.
However, that's why a lot of women do it.
Oh, wow. But I don't get.
And I think faking orgasm, I can see this too. When she's just ready for it to be over, that can kind of turn.
Here's why
Wait, let me finish. And it, knowing that me, doing all of that is gonna make you get excited and just make you come like, I ain't had no orgasm, but I'm ready for it to be over. So let me go.
We want to take care
Oh,
of you.
so you think it'll make me come faster?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And most of the time it works.
it does.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Right.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. With you talking, yeah.
Yeah. I like
Yeah,
the verbal.
yeah.
I like
So,
the verbal. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, audio and visual. yes.
So, can you explain the G-spot? And does it have to be hit in order to have an orgasm? Because the thing about it is, some people have never had an orgasm or want to experience it more. So, what is the G-spot, and does it really need to be hit in order to have an orgasm? And then I have another question after that. Okay.
So there's several different types of orgasms. You can have a clitoral orgasm, you can have a nipple orgasm, you can have a G-spot orgasm. There's many things that are going to cause an orgasm. So the answer to the first question, no, it doesn't have to be stimulated for you to have an orgasm.
Okay.
There are plenty of people that are nipple play people, and I mean, you can have them convulsing with just the nipples.
Oh, wow.
Ding, 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 one of them.
Okay.
But for the G-spot, first of all, if you do your fingers like this and you do that come hither motion inside of you, when you're horny, it plumps up and that's where you feel it. Yes, absolutely. It's a pleasurable thing. You can hit it, and bam, you have an orgasm. Right. Or you can squirt and all that kind of stuff. But what about clitoral stimulation? Have you experienced both at the same time, clitoral stimulation and G-spot stimulation? That's a whole nother world. And if you've never experienced it, people,
gotta experience it.
So in other words, when you hit and play with it, Okay. Why is it that a lot of women are not? So you saying women are not having an orgasm because the man, he just didn't have the right equipment. They're not communicating. He's not what?
So
She got the finger waving. Hold on.
So the first thing is how are you going to tell someone how to please you if you do not know how to please yourself?
So you saying all women should masturbate?
All women should masturbate. Let me say it again. All women should masturbate. Okay? It's about knowing your anatomy. It's nothing nasty about it. It's nothing taboo about it.
Okay.
It's about knowing your body.
Know your body. Do you know your body, lady?
Right. Have you gotten a mirror? Have you gotten in a mirror and opened her up to see what he sees? Do you know what you look like?
Right.
We were dealing with a couple, and he wanted her to sext him. But when she took a look at her anatomy, which she had never done before, she was like, "Oh no, this is ugly, and why would he want to see this?" And and it brought in those self-esteem issues. And I said, "No, baby, he's seen this already.
Right.
That's what he
Right.
Send that picture.
Yeah, send the picture.
Send it to him.
Send it."
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think you can be your mental can cause you to have an orgasm? Because I was telling him this on the way to the show, is that
She did.
I can be thinking certain things, and evidently my body is responding to what I'm thinking, and he responds just off of my thoughts.
Right. It's
Wow.
a trigger.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's that trigger because you're remembering past things that you've gone, and your body it's a muscle memory.
Right.
So the body already
And we've
knows
been at it for a minute.
Right. Y'all been at it for a minute.
Right, 20
so,
plus years.
And are you guys sapiosexuals?
What is that?
Where you're stimulated by someone's intelligence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say a little bit.
Because I noticed that with a lot of sapiosexuals. Because a lot of sapiosexuals, all you got to do is talk to them and speak their language. And and I'm not even talking about nasty. I'm just being like, whatever stimulate, whatever you're interested in.
Right.
Oh my gosh, you can talk to me about music, and I'm just like, ooh.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That intelligence.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
One thing that I'm almost embarrassed saying it.
Don't be embarrassed.
I can see her reading the Bible or talking about Bible study or her daily bread or her devotion with God, her alone time with God. That turns, I want to attack her right there.
Woo!
Just like, oh my God, you said having a spiritual woman that prays and seeking a relationship with God, that turns me on. I don't know
that turns me on. One of my best friends, she anybody that's anointed, she gets embarrassed because it's an instant body trigger for her. We're PKs, so like, and I told her that you got to think about it. We grew up in the church.
Right.
We grew up sitting on the front row watching preachers, and God said it. All of that is attractive to us.
Right.
So,
I can see that.
Yes,
I can see that.
I can totally understand that.
Okay.
And I think that's why, or I would say that's what I think is special about the marriage union, is that that connection that you have with that other person is so different. And I think when your relationship is good, that's why the sex is so good, because this is like the person who should know you forward, backwards, inside out, all your intimate thoughts, all of it. And I think that's what make sex with your spouse different from just like random acts of sex, with random people. And so, yeah.
Do you think people today, and if as two parts, do you think people today are this way, and who, men or women more, are just lazy sexually, lazy in the bedroom? Have you experienced that?
I think that our society is overly sexualized.
Okay.
And so that has a lot to do with the fact that they think that they can be lazy. They think that there's no effort to it, because there's no effort into getting a woman anymore. There's no effort into getting a man anymore, because they come a dime a dozen. But is it quality? Are you getting what you really want, or are you playing around? So I think it's overly sexualized.
Okay.
So it makes it where, okay, I don't have to do all that. I can find somebody else that will just want this instead of taking the time out to be the person that I need you to be. And it's okay, then you weren't meant for me.
Okay. What about couples? What about couples? They don't have that excuse. What are their reasons? What's going on with that?
But it can be some of the same reasons too. Psychological, number one. Just like we talked about infidelity. Infidelity can cause you not to want to do what you want for that partner and please that other partner, make any effort to do anything for that person.
Right.
I also think that because I hear this all the time, because we've done it this way for 10 years, who is she to tell me, I want to introduce a toy into the bedroom, or I want to get some lube and
gotta switch the game up sometimes.
Gotta switch the game up and spice it up. And we mentally,
you gotta have, there you go, mentally, you have to have the mindset to do it and not think it's taboo to bring a toy.
Last time and we're talking about married couples, last time I checked, nothing is defiled in the bedroom.
Right.
So that means explore the heck out your bedroom. Put a suspense swing up, get you some lube, get some strawberries and chocolate, and bring you a book into whatever the case may be, whatever your spouse wants to do, let's try it. If you don't like it, it's okay. Tell them, and then you don't have to do it anymore.
Right.
And no hard feelings, but that's how it should be.
That's how it should be. Have you ever experienced any couples or any women in a relationship embarrassed or ashamed to want to try this, or that she likes this and afraid
absolutely.
Yeah, that's probably very cool.
Wow. That's one of the number one things actually that I deal with, because they come to me asking me, how do I talk to him about adding just a blindfold, or how do I talk to him about just, can I get him?
Yeah, we're gonna show y'all the stuff in a few minutes.
Those type of things. How do I talk to him?
Oh my God!
I can't show him the box.
Just wait. I just said we were gonna show it in a few minutes.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
That's enthusiasm. That's the best thing.
Yes.
But that's the number one thing that I get talked to about.
Wow.
How do I talk to him or her about this? Adding this into.
Okay, y'all are tuned in to the Couples Lounge radio show. Make sure you share the video so that we can help some marriages today, because that's who's the only people supposed to be doing this.
To all the couples who are dealing with something like that, you have to let go. Fellas, you have to let go of your ego, your pride, and receive whatever it is your woman is telling you, and vice versa, ladies. If she says she needs this in order to be pleased, you have to listen.
Listen.
Okay. Throw that out there.
Okay. So let's move to foreplay a little bit. So I know for a lot, definitely for women, it's more so it will bring out, I feel like, a more sexual side of us, the foreplay. Whereas some men, they can be like, come on, let's get it in, boom, boom, and let's go.
Right.
So one question that I received was, and then you can talk about how foreplay is important, or if it isn't important. How can you use your tongue to make a man come?
Wait, whoa.
Hold on, baby. Just hold on to him. Hold on to him.
Hold on. Oh, man. Hold on.
How can you use your tongue to make him come?
Well, first of all, every man is different, and every man does not like the same thing.
Okay.
So, I
If she wanted to use her tongue, how can she use that to her advantage?
That was a
with
question
him?
for real. Somebody answered? Wow.
So I teach a class called Speaking to the Mic.
Okay.
Whoa.
And
Speaking. Hold on. Say that again.
to the mic.
And what is that entails
To
about?
the mic.
Speaking to the mic. All right.
So one of the first things that you need to realize is the head of the penis is very sensitive.
Okay.
So light licks, light taps, light teases are going to get them stimulated, number one.
Mm-hmm.
But then what about the shaft of the penis and going up and down the shaft? You can lick it, you can twist it,
Right.
whatever you need to do. But how about that twisting action at the same time that you're sucking on his penis? Right.
Right.
Oh, I have to make sure I say that.
We educating today.
Y'all better be listening.
So, I mean, taking first of all, to me, most men like some noise. Okay.
Okay.
And so that slurping noise, that licking noise, it does something to them. It arouses them. And so some men, it doesn't take very much for you just to be licking around it and sucking on it just a little bit. Others, it might take you a while to get deep in there. Have you ever tried to twist the cherry twist, what do you call those things? The stem with your tongue? If you even try it, it's an exercise to make you twist all around his penis. The head of his penis. And it feels great to them.
That's homework, ladies. Homework. Go to the store and get you some damn cherries today. You gotta practice.
Boy. Crazy. Okay, you gonna learn today.
Yes,
all
we're
right.
gonna learn today. Tell him, Kevin.
What?
But
Okay.
I use this book called Tickle His Pickle.
Okay.
And this is the book that I do my workshops with. And so they get a penis, a dildo penis, and they get to practice on it.
Okay.
And you get to practice all the different techniques that's in this book.
Okay.
So I have different techniques on how to please him with your mouth.
So, like, there's a hand job section.
Wow. What's the name of that book, ladies?
It's called Tickle His Pickle.
Tickle his pickle. He don't have to know you went and bought it either.
Tickle.
Just get it, keep it in your car, read it, and just surprise it.
Like for instance, on one of the pages, on page 76, it talks about wrist it, tease it, torture it, twist it, tap it, violin concerto, lip job, leave it to cleave it. I mean, like, it has all of these different things that we go over in the class.
Wow.
How to do.
Okay.
Wow,
And
ladies.
So, again, there are so many techniques because all men are different.
Okay. And
And
we'll
then-
make sure that we put her information on
Yes.
the page for those that
Go ahead and go to Amazon, wherever you ladies. That's part
No,
of
go to bedroomcandybycandyj.com.
Oh,
okay,
okay,
so
my
they
bad.
can get the books and
Yes,
stuff from you.
absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll make sure
Yes.
we put all of that on this post.
Yeah.
So how
We
important
I'm
is
gonna make sure
foreplay?
I'm sorry. I'm just having fun. I'm gonna make sure that I get that.
How important is foreplay?
Very
You gotta-
important.
Okay.
For men, like you said, not so much all the time. Every man is different though.
Right.
Okay.
Because I've run into someone that he is my match as far as that goes. Like, I need foreplay, and he needs foreplay.
Okay.
So, but a lot of men are not that way. So, but for women, you got to preheat that oven
Yes.
before you bathe.
Right.
So, what type of foreplay are we talking though?
Okay.
Because kissing can be erotic, right? And
Okay.
some people that's all they need.
Yeah. Right.
But there are other things like warming lubrication that you can run all down your body, getting a candle and pouring the wax that ours turn into oil all over the body, and giving them erotic massage.
Okay.
We talking about fellatio and cunnilingus, which is oral sex.
Okay. I didn't know what the hell that means. Like, what the hell is that? I was gonna ask.
Those are the correct names for oral sex.
Okay.
There's nipple play, of course, like we talked about a minute ago, and some people don't even need anything else after that. I mean, it's crazy.
Right.
Eating the groceries.
All
All of those things are foreplay. But what about the texting before you get to even see them?
Right.
Or back in the day when we didn't have texting, I got erotic emails.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so there was a phone call to my
Right.
job.
Right.
You know, hey,
Right.
baby.
Right.
You know,
Ain't
I'm
nothing wrong with
sitting
sending
in
the
the kitchen
picture.
cooking for you. You know,
Right.
that's erotic to us. You
Right.
know,
Right.
making us a meal. I mean, there are so many.
Or
things
just
that,
call, even for those that are uncomfortable with the texting and the emails, for you to just get a phone call on your way home about how he thinking about you and what he want to do with you once he get there could supplement that.
For
You know,
all
that.
What does it for you like that, babe? What's something I do that you be like, ooh?
You ain't got to do nothing before I get there. Oh, cook? No, cook? No.
That is probably boy. Yo, this woman done got it, boy, to the point.
But yeah, I like some of the foreplay things that she said. I ain't gonna put it all out there what I like, but you know what I like.
I kind of just want to hear.
You just want to hear it and get yourself all excited.
But then you got other people that like bondage and discipline, and
Now,
that's
that's
foreplay
some
for
kinda-
them.
I like that
you
too.
know.
I don't mind tying you up.
Yeah. You getting tied up?
Hey, I don't know.
Hey.
Oh Lord.
I
down.
tried, but dang, let me tie you up.
And oh goodness. I don't know if we hit on this a few minutes ago. I think some of why couples are not upfront about their sexual preference and desires. Did y'all kind of hit on that?
Kind of, sort of, but because of fear, it's all about fear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what people don't realize is the communication is there.
Right.
It is the pathway, the gateway for everything.
Right.
Men, you can get what you want if you just communicate. Women,
Right.
you can get what you want
Right.
if you just communicate. Is someone supposed to know if you don't
tell
let
them?
you?
Right.
Right.
And I think sometimes like how we grew up affects
Right.
your what you're willing to do in the
Right.
bedroom. Like you said, definitely if you grew up in church and
Right.
like if
They
you're
just make it
in
seem
the
so
in the
taboo,
South,
especially for women.
for conservatives, it's like, oh, if I do that, he gonna think I'm nasty. Because I know it for me, sometimes that used to be my thought. Like, if I go here, and although I know him, and I probably could do some of everything, and it probably wouldn't, or allow him to do, and he would not think it was nasty. But in my mind, I'm saying I don't want to look like a whore, if I use the right word.
That just bothers
If I don't
my-
look,
that
if
just
I don't want to
upsets my
look
heart.
like that,
Right.
and so I kind of stay reserved. How do you move past those
Right.
thoughts?
Yes. Help these ladies.
But you hit the nail on the head, though. It's about your environment and how you grew up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you change your mindset, you can grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to have a growth mindset. Okay, I'm in this new situation, and this person likes these things.
Right.
I have to come out of my shell. It's about
Right.
you changing mentally, and it's going to take time because, of course, it's programmed in you.
Right.
It was programmed in me to keep your legs closed. Don't do
Right.
anything. It didn't stop for me. It didn't stop me from doing a lot of things, but it did stop me from doing some things.
Right. Right. Right.
So when I got to the situation where I needed to change that mindset, I was open to it, and that takes time to pull people out of that. And so if you're dealing with a person like that, it's about constantly telling them it's okay and
Right.
it's all right. Let's try this today,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe we can try this tomorrow. It's baby steps.
Right.
And you have to be patient with that person
Right.
because, of course, I would hope if you're engaging in sexual activity with a person, you have talked about some of those things,
Right.
like what triggers you. Some
Right.
people it came out of an abusive relationship,
Right.
so you trying to choke them is
could
going
be
to trigger
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
Right,
But
That's
right.
good.
other people love it.
Right, right.
So you have to
Ooh,
be able
well
to have
said.
those conversations.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that, y'all. So be up front. Be
Yes.
honest
Yes.
with what you like, what you don't like. Even if you are fearful, or like me, you had that mental blockage, let them know, baby, I'm struggling with going there
Right.
because of this. And as your husband, he should make you feel comfortable with him, and like you said, meet
in
him
yourself.
there. He should be able to meet you where you are and help you loosen up or let go and not criticize you. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm sorry. One thing before I forget, it's one thing to be great communicators, but it's another thing to be able to answer truthfully and honestly to whatever your partner is asking you.
That's real.
Okay.
So
That's real.
if I ask you, do you like clitoral stimulation, and you're like, no, I don't like clitoral stimulation, but you lying and you know you like it, then that's not open communication. You still talking about it, but that's not being honest. In your answers,
Right.
You know?
Okay.
So
I like
very
that.
important.
Now, after a while, if you've been with a couple, if you've been with someone for so long, the sex can get routine. What advice would you give a couple that's listening that's caught up in the same routine? Okay, every Friday, every Wednesday at this time. All right, wait till the kids go
So
to
how
bed.
you add a little spice to it?
Yes.
So have we tried role play? Have we tried fulfilling any? Have we talked about our fantasies and sat down and said, oh, well, you know, I've always wanted to try this. Make it happen. You know, whoever is on the receiving end of that, make that happen.
Make that happen.
We all fall by the wayside with kids, but you have to make the time to date your spouse.
Right.
And that dating includes the intimacy, and intimacy is not always about sex, but that intimacy can lead to having sexual pleasure, right?
Okay.
So for me, I would be adding stuff.
Come on, let's break it out. Let's break out some stuff to add some spice to it.
First of all, being a bedroom candy consultant, I am never dull. I don't have ever a dull moment.
Okay.
But
You wanna so I can make sure I get it on all cameras.
Let me turn it on for you. Let me turn it on.
Oh, okay. We're gonna talk about this little gadget first. Now, where does this go? It look like it go on him. Is what I'm gonna assume.
Okay.
Oh.
So did I bring? No, because I think you told me not to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
What?
let me see this. First of all, this is a cock ring.
Okay.
And it's called Rise and Shine. It has
Stay
multiple.
close to that mic so they can hear what you're saying.
Multiple purposes.
Okay.
So my first purpose, right? I'm gonna take it out. Okay. And I'm going to sit in front of him or her, whoever your pleasure is with, and I'm going to masturbate.
Okay.
I'm gonna do nipple play, and I'm gonna rub it on my clit, and I'm giving you that visual stimulation, right? You can't wait, baby. You can't wait. Oh, okay. So now I'm gonna put it on my cheek, and I'm
at the same time.
Wow.
You get all these good vibrations on the tip of your penis, right?
Wow.
Or if you're a deep throater, you can put it right here.
Oh my God.
And as he goes,
Wow.
go down,
Right.
getting it all on the shaft and the tip of his penis.
Okay.
Okay.
All of that. Okay. Multiple.
This got multiple purpose. Yes.
But then, honey. So this real, and I didn't bring my King Daddy because you told me what type of show this is. So, but let's just pretend the microphone. So you're going to put it down on the shaft of his penis, right next to his testicles.
Okay.
Right. Then now you can sit on it. Oh, and they might be getting these vibrations in my headphones.
Okay.
But you can sit on it, and
Right.
you're getting the clitoral stimulation, and he's getting the stimulation to the testicles. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So you can go from the back, and same deal. You're still getting that clitoral stimulation, and he's still getting it onto the testicles. But what if you are too sensitive? Because this has 7 speeds, y'all.
7?
Yeah, 3 of them are vibrations, and the other ones are pulsations.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what if you're too sensitive? Well, you can pull it underneath his testicles, and he'll be the only person getting the vibrations, and you're.
And
still
it won't hurt his testicles.
But it is meant to restrict the blood flow just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit, so that you don't ejaculate early, which is a problem that you said that we were going to talk about as well. So,
Okay.
add
And what is that called?
that's called Rise and Shine.
Rise and Shine. And yes, she does sell these products. Like she said, she's a bedroom candy consultant. And so, yeah. Now the blindfold. how does that bring about? And that's something simple, ladies. You know, this is probably for those that want to take a baby step, you know, and don't want all the.
Right.
He has glasses on. You put it on.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. I got you now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So first of all,
Okay, my bad.
Okay.
So first of all, you see, it takes away your complete sight. It's a complete blackout,
Yeah.
type of eye mask.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
now your other senses are heightened. So if he touches you just a little bit, what is that doing? See, I see the smile on your face, right? And first of all, it also builds trust as well. And the way that helps out with a whole relationship is that when you're building trust, you'll trust him to do other things as well. Like you'll trust him to pay the bills. You'll trust him to watch the kids when you're supposed to pick up the kids when you're supposed to. Trust him to go wash the car. But think about it. When you take away all of your senses, now everything else
It's heightened.
Okay. And so now you're like, oh, what's that sound? And he can just
What he
lick his
doing?
lips, and
Right.
that little noise that you hear, or he can come touch the small of your back, and you're like,
Right.
oh,
Damn it,
okay.
I'm buying the blindfold.
Yeah.
Now we got some more, so I'm getting one today.
Yes.
I guarantee. I promise you.
No, I
She
need
would
to
be-
look at the collection. I
She
need
would
to
be
look at the
blindfolded.
collection.
Well, I don't give a damn. You're gonna be blindfolded.
And this is just a baby step because
Yeah.
this whole line that it looks like this, but it comes with like a dog collar with nipple clamps, and it comes with a paddle, and it comes with a flogger. And so people that are a little nervous of all of those
Right,
things,
right,
you
right.
know, I teach a class on that too, but that's soft BDSM. That's not the
The 50 Shades Gray.
Right.
Okay.
One of his favorite movies.
That's a classic.
So let's go back to so all those are ways that you all can spice up the bedroom.
And we're going to put a website and all that on the show, on the page. You just got to wait to the end of the show.
Okay, so for those men that are because I think it's becoming common. I won't even say common. It's something that people are experiencing. The male, what is it called? Erectile dysfunction. And
Indeed.
I don't think men are being open and sharing that they're experiencing it, but they don't know how to communicate that with their wife. And then in return, then I just don't want to have sex. You know what I'm saying? They just. So what can you do outside of Viagra? Is it anything that you can do outside of Viagra to help with that situation?
Well, first of all, it's really important to know that erectile dysfunction is not just having a flaccid penis one time, or a couple weeks from now, another time. Right. It's not that. It's a constant and consistent not being able to be erect, okay? So that's very, very important. So when you have erectile dysfunction, you can, let's go back. So when you get an erection, it can be done by audio or visual. So like we were just talking about, all of those things that build you up, that's how you can get an erection. The other one is memory and reflexology, right? Okay. And then the other one, of course, is nocturnal, right?
Okay.
So when you're dealing with all of those things, psychologically, you can be erectile dysfunction. And that means that you can have stress in your relationship or stress on your job. You can be going through a depression. And all of that is strictly psychological. Right. So that means that you need to seek counseling, or there are antidepressants, of course, but antidepressants can make it worse. Okay. It just depends. Wow. It depends on which kind. So that all can be psychological. So if you're dealing with that psychologically, then you definitely need to seek some assistance. Okay. And change your what's happening right now. You know, if your job is stressing you out, then it might be time to change your job or address whatever the issues are, or relationship. That cheating factor comes into place with erectile dysfunction. Okay. You know, that's all that. So then you have where the blood flow is being restricted, and that's vascular. So that's a whole nother story. That's something that you got to go to your doctor and seek help with. Okay. And they can give you pills for that. Yes, they can give you Viagra and Cialis, and there's some other things. But you can also get injections into your penis.
Ooh.
Yes.
Not you. You okay? It's not happening to you right now.
Wow, just saying that. Hey,
ooh, that do sound painful. Oh.
You can get a vacuum erectile pump, and it sucks you
The
up
butt.
to a erection, and then you put this tension ring on it, sort of like a cock ring, but way tighter, and it keeps you hard for at least about 30 minutes. Yeah, you can do
They
that.
gotta
too.
do that just to. Oh,
Okay.
wow.
You can also get a penile implant.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's for really severe
Let's
cases.
stay hard.
Yeah.
You see
Let's
his
stay
reaction.
hard. Let's stay hard. Oh my goodness. Let's stay hard.
But erectile dysfunction can also be caused by like drug use, alcohol abuse. Our blood pressure medicine has beta blockers in it, so it can cause that as well.
Okay,
So
I've heard of people with high blood pressure.
Dealing with that.
So you may need to change your blood pressure medication. But it's also about opening up and telling your doctor and letting them know, and your
Hey,
spouse.
doc.
Right.
I know I would be. Hey, doc,
And so what I heard her just say that,
fix this.
and I guess for me and knowing how I feel about medicine, you got to look within yourself to see mentally are there things that you are experiencing, and kind of just start going down the list of, things. Are you stressed out? How's your relationship? And mentally, is it something that could be affecting that? And then if you don't want to take meds, then she gave you a list of things that you could do, outside of meds. But once you kind of went down the line, and then you eventually have to go and see.
Would you
professional.
recommend a certain amount of time or days a couple should be having sex? What would you say? If you had to put a number on it, days or times, would you say?
I wouldn't put a number on it. And the reason I wouldn't is because every couple is different.
Okay.
Just like I have a busy, crazy schedule, but if I can fit it in where I can fit it in, then I'm going to.
Okay.
But you have to work that out between yourselves, So, like you said before, some people's sex drive is higher than others.
Right.
And so you have to fit the needs of that person. I can have sex 7 days a week. Am I going to be crazy enough to ask my spouse or my significant other to have sex 7 days a week? No.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
You
a
have
lot.
to figure out what the happy medium is there.
Okay.
So my ex and I came down to 3 times a week is my happy medium. You got to at least meet that.
Right.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Right.
I understand something happened. You sick.
Right,
you're
right.
extremely exhausted. Okay, I get that part.
At least give me 3.
But at least give me 3,
Okay.
please.
And I like that. The looking at where his sex drive is and where your sex drive
Right.
is, or vice versa, and
Right.
then finding a meeting place in between. Yeah, we had to do that same thing. Yeah. So before we only got a few more minutes, how can
It's
you
going by so fast.
how
does.
can you make your bedroom? Because I think your bedroom has to almost feel intimate, or it has to have a certain feel about it. So what are some things that you either should have in your bedroom to make it feel like a place of love, or things that you need to make sure is not in your bedroom? Like, he was always real adamant about kids sleeping in the bed with us. Like, no, he didn't even allow that to start. Like, of course, when they first came home, but after a few weeks, okay, you need to start putting them in the crib. And I know some people still let their kids sleep in the bed with them, and they're like 2 and 3.
Right.
Nah.
So what are some things that I guess maybe we should say should not be in the bedroom?
And so that's every couple again is
It's
different.
different.
Right.
So for some people, like television should not be in the bedroom at all, because it takes away from that intimacy time of you talking or you praying together, because spirituality is definitely a part of sexuality as well. Or you getting to that point in the moment. You was busy up here watching the game, and I'm trying to get it off.
I believe the
you
whole
know,
TV thing.
so I feel like that's one thing that should not. Although TV can be exciting as well, because then you can watch some things that you like to watch.
Right. Right.
Even watch yourselves. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think the ambiance should. I feel like if
That's
you're,
the word. Ambiance. That's what I was looking for.
I feel like if you like candles, you should have candles in the room, and not necessarily always having to light the candle, but it be there so that if we want it to go down, then we can. Having a treasure box, something to put some little sexy things in,
Right.
like lubricants and clitoral stimulation and
Right.
little toys that you might want to use. Like that definitely should be in there. I also feel like you should never argue in the bedroom. That's just me personally.
I've heard that. I've heard people say that too.
Because the negative energy that you leave in there makes you like you associate that room with somewhere it went down.
Definitely, if something bad went down there. Yeah,
exactly.
I can see that.
So I mean, those are just some.
And I've heard people say they don't do business, like do work in their bedroom because of its sacredness. It's like if you're gonna do your work, you got to do it outside of the bedroom. And I want to even add having the bedroom clean. When it's stuff everywhere, it's just gonna be
and that's people's personal preference too, because I know plenty of women that are like, I don't care, bend me over right here. So it just depends. You know.
Right.
Okay. Well, I've definitely enjoyed this conversation. I know it. I've enjoyed the conversation. Y'all, her name is let them know what your name is on Facebook.
On Facebook is Candy J Price, but you can follow my coaching services at Candyology CS. So that's CandyOlogYCS.
Okay.
Say that again.
I get it. I'm gonna type it, baby. You don't have to type it.
But that's on Instagram. That's on Facebook. That's on Twitter. Candyology CS. But Bedroom Candy side of things is different, and I can link that to you as well.
Okay. Well, I've enjoyed the show, baby. What's your somebody should have told me moment for today? What is something you took away? I took away what she said about the erectile dysfunction, which I already gave mine. So what's your somebody should have told me moment? What you learned today?
What I learned today, couples need to be they have better communication in the bedroom.
Absolutely.
To help fix the bedroom, a lot of times you can just by communicating your needs, your wants, and desires and what you don't like by simply communicating.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank y'all for hanging out.
And I'm going to buy a damn blindfold. Blindfolded. This woman
ready,
is,
Candace?
getting blindfolded tonight.
Goodness.
That's
Thank
a
you
promise.
for hanging out with us on today. Same time, same place next Saturday. You have experienced the Couples Lounge, giving you something to talk about. Make sure you like our Facebook page, our Instagram page. On Twitter, it's something different, but go ahead and like the Instagram and Facebook page.
You ain't hit the share button. Help somebody.
Right. And support us when you can. I thoroughly enjoyed this show.
I really
on
did.
Today.
Yes,
We have
you
so
did.
much more to talk about.
I know it. I know.
Yes.
So yes, I'm going to put her information on the page, and y'all use this conversation. If you didn't get to watch it with your spouse, once they have sat down, it's only an hour. Watch it together. Allow it to be a conversation starter for you. We all trying to make it to forever in these marriages, and I know sex is a big part of it, and the lack of it could destroy a marriage because it'll start jumping into other areas of your life. So make sure you have a conversation and just be honest and and just let it flow. Let your reservations down, and just this the person you saying you're gonna spend the rest of your life with. You should be able to talk to them about anything. So you all have a great Saturday, and we'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all.
Whoop, whoop. I holla.
I'll type it.
What's up, y'all? This is the Bad Man, a.k.a. Black Sheep, yo ho.